Hello and welcome to another episode of Impact Podcast. This is your host, Christian. I'm glad y'all tuned in again. I'm here with my co-host Amani and Darren. We're coming at you virtual this week because school just started back. We working everything, so life continues to go on, but we have to continue going as well with it with this show. So we thank y'all. We had our bye week last week, but we have another great episode for you today. We will be continuing on with our conversation and our topic about um, basically being triggered within our friendships and why things still trigger us, even though we think that we got over it. So, yeah, just before we get started, though, how's y'all's week been?
Mm, Mine has been well, it's good so far. It's
Hmm.
good.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. Everything is cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, everything keeps rolling around. It's crazy that we was just sitting in January and now we're here in August already. So it's just
I,
a crazy thing.
this year, man, I don't even I remember my birthday in January because that's like a mark, and
Hmm.
then after that is
Yeah.
it just feels like I'm in a video game or something. How fast things are
I
going.
know the things move so quick. I remember I was like, wow, I just turned 21. I remember it like it was yesterday. Like, it's
You're
crazy.
21.
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
even
crazy how
realize that
fast,
happened.
yeah, it's crazy how fast time moves. I remember the shoes I got. I remember like it just happened last week, and now we're sitting up here and we're on the other half of the year. So it's about
This
to be
hmm
getting
podcast.
cold outside again.
Like, how long have we been doing this podcast? It feels like
We've
we've
been
been
doing it
doing
for
it for
about
18
a
years.
year. Yeah, it's been a year and I think like a couple months, like 4 months. Yeah, that's
Um,
something. I thank y'all for the ones that's been tuning in. We're moving almost into 2 years now, so that's a big thing for us. Yeah,
Praise the Lord.
praise God.
Um, do you want to do the icebreaker or no?
Um, hmm. Let's just go straight into the questions. Question four.
Okay.
Are you asking? You want me to ask?
No, you can ask
Okay.
it.
So question
Yeah.
four it says, do you feel pressure to act a certain way around certain people to keep your spot in their life?
Uh,
I wouldn't say
I,
now I am, but I would say in the past I have. Um,
yeah.
and I'm just going to generalize this. I think that we all have at some extent in our life, even if it was family, friends, on a job, where you had to act a certain way. I mean, let's be real. At some point in time, we wanted to be accepted or we wanted to be liked by a community or a certain particular friend group or a certain particular status, like, just whatever it might have been. So we tried to act a certain way to be viewed a certain way. Let me use an example as let's say you're on a job and everybody laughs at one particular person, and this person really hasn't done anything wrong, but you're doing that because you really want to be a manager or you really want to move up. So you agree with the managerial staff
Mm,
just so you can move up quicker or something else. Let's say even with a friend group. Let's say you are normally a sweet, kind person that never picks on a soul, but you catch somebody else, they're like gossiping, they're talking about somebody. Now you find yourself, oh yeah, that dude does kind of look funny. You had never been that person,
yeah.
but you don't want to be you want to fit in so bad, and you don't want to be your own individual. So you
Right.
do all these things because deep down inside it's deep seated. Um, you have a longing to not be alone. You have a longing to not be abandoned. You have a longing to not feel like you're an outcast. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have approval from others. And that comes from even people growing up with parents where they felt like even like all parents aren't like some people be like, always listen to your parents, always do all these type of things. Now, great if you have great parents, but that's not the case for a lot of people. Some people don't have good parents. And the parents make it seem like they have to act, well, people tend to act a certain way around their parents just to make their parents happy, or to make their siblings or family, grandmother, whoever it might be, happy. And this person might not even be in the will of God. So, I mean, this is a situation that we try to say, nah, that's never happened to us. But the more you look back in life, you've experienced it on one of these levels. If it could have been on a job, in school, in a friend group, in the park, with a brothers group, with a sisters group, with family, whoever it might be, we've all seen ourselves in a situation where we have tried to fit in, and we tried to act a certain way just so we can, you know, think that we fit in or whatever. So that's what I have to say about it.
I think like when you were talking, it just made me like think about the scripture like evil communication corrupts good manners.
Hmm.
So like if you are in a situation to where you are trying to fit in, sometimes you'll end up picking up on things like how you said gossiping, being mean, and you don't even realize like you're like, oh my goodness, why did I even just say that? Or you start having temptations that you didn't have before. And it's because of the scripture, like evil communication corrupts good manners, or even a simple one, like you are the friend in the friend group that never uses curse words, right?
Hmm.
But everybody on the basketball team, or everybody at your job, or at the water cooler, they all curse. Next thing you know,
You're
a
saying a
curse
couple
word
words.
slips out. You might start off saying the little ones, and then all of a sudden, you're watching your favorite team play, and then you're like, boom, out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and it didn't even happen around them. So I think like we got to be careful um, with the pressures, because even with the pressure, we all feel it, but it's also like let's be aware of who we're around because they do influence us.
They do. They do. No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, I mean, like you said, Christian, when I was little, I used to like, I mean, I used to get in a lot of trouble trying to make friends and all that dumb stuff, man. But at the end of the day, you know, you want to kind of get to know yourself, if that's the term to use, you know what I mean? And once you kind of get, first and foremost, you got to have that relationship with God. I'll go ahead and say that. But then once you do know God, He can reveal yourself to you. You know what I mean? And once you get that confidence and knowing what you really are here for, then you feel less of a need to impress anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then as you're walking in your purpose and what it is that you are set here to do, you just really have less of a care about like whether somebody accepts you or not. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. It might cross your mind, but you're not gonna act on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At least most people once they get older, you know. So
I want to point out like too, because we talked about like keeping your spot, and I feel like wherever God places you, like, or whatever it is you're doing, nobody can take you out that spot. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So if God purposed you to be doing a certain career, or you're in a certain role um, at church, or whatever the case, um, nobody can like take you out the spot. You know what I mean? So like I feel like that's reassuring when you're concerned about a spot you're in or whatever it is you're doing. Like people can't tear you down. I mean, they can tear you down, but they can't remove you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
even you think about Joseph, think about David. I'm pretty sure. Well, we know Joseph for sure, and people were after David as well. But nobody could stop the fact that David became king. Nobody could stop that Joseph was the second in command. You know what I'm saying? So like if God called you to something, or if you're wherever it is, wherever you are in your life, you're a mother, you're a father, whatever it is, nobody can move you from that position. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all have anything else to add to this, or we can move on to question 6?
Yeah, I'll read six.
Okay.
So, can you think of Bible characters who had great friendships?
Hmm. I could think of a couple. You got David and Jonathan.
Hmm.
Jonathan was a real one because he was such a good friend. He was next in line to be king. So imagine this. Your dad is king, and the next king is you. And this other guy that's not even in line, like he just pops up and he's like really good or whatever it might be. And I
Hmm.
would not try to help him out. You know what I'm saying? Just me personally. I'd be like, I'm next in line to be king or whatever. But Jonathan was a good friend because like he looked past his own thing. He knew what God's plan was, and it was God's plan for David to be king and everything. That was a good friend. But the other one I was gonna say is just the easiest one, Jesus and the disciples.
Hmm.
Like that was like it's no better friendship that you can use as an example because like just the way that Jesus showed how to be a friend, how to like, because he was a leader, he was leading them, of course, but you know how they'll say he's a friend to the friendless, and he'll stick closer than any brother. But how he showed love and how he operated, how he even with how the disciples they were friends together, that's showed a good thing for us in the church today that this is bigger than us. We're not just Christians just so we can wear a cross around our neck and some Jesus shirts. We're in this and we'll die for this. We'll die for Christ. We'll die for God. And we can be there and we can support each other because these guys were getting persecuted. They were shamed. There was all these things. They dropped everything and followed Christ. And that's the type of friendships we need nowadays. It may not be as extreme as it was back then. However, you need friendships where, like, if Peter needed somebody, he could go to one of the other disciples and they would pray him through. If and so forth for the rest of them. And they had people that was like all of them except for Judas was ready to die for Christ, and they all was on one accord, and that's why we are on this podcast today because they learned from Jesus and he showed them, and then they're showing us, and ultimately through their friendship and through all these things, it showed us how we can be there together and spread the gospel at the same time. So that's just two examples I could use off the jump, but yeah, it's plenty more.
Mm. Yeah, that was my favorite one, the John and David one, but uh, Ruth and Naomi, because like there was no reason. Let me make sure I say the name right. There was no reason for uh, was it Ruth or Naomi? I don't know. I think yeah, there was no reason for Ruth to stay. You know what I'm saying? She could have left. She could have like she didn't have to stay with Naomi after her husband died and all of that. She could have went back to where her town was with her people, but she was like, "Nope, I'm gonna go with you. Like I'm gonna stay with you. I'm gonna, you know, you're my mother-in-law basically." And Naomi even tried to get rid of her. She was like, "No, like go back." You know what I'm saying? And she was
Hmm.
like, "You don't get it. Like I'm sticking here. I'm gonna be loyal." And yeah, I just think that that's another good one. And this is one of my favorite like scriptures when it comes to friendship. Let me make sure I read it right. Proverbs 27:9. I don't know what version this is, but it says, "Sweet friendships refresh the soul and awaken our hearts with joy. For good friends are like the anointing oil that yields the fragrant incense of God's presence." So, the part that I always resonate with is the fact that a sweet friendship refreshes the soul, and it is refreshing to be able to like talk to another believer and like actually like be transparent with them and them pour into you and they're pouring the word of God. You know what I'm saying? They hold you accountable, but you can also laugh with like you can be yourself around them. You can actually tell them like how you feel without feeling judged or whatever the case. And yeah, it's good, and I'm grateful that like I have some of those. I have that within my family, but then God has blessed me to have some connections with people that love Him, um, and love me as a friend. You know, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I'm gonna go with Paul, but I like the relationship between Paul and Timothy. And well, Timothy was almost like a I don't want to say like a mentee, but like as far as the spiritual goes, I guess you could kind of say like a, but he called him a son in the faith. So
Hmm.
basically, he's the one who kind of took Timothy up under his wing and taught him. You know what I'm saying? And he eventually trusted him enough to send him out and oversee like churches in different regions while Paul continued on with his mission. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
always, it always kind of give me butterflies, man, when I see their relationship. Like seeing like, man, that must be cool for
Yeah.
Timothy to be that guy. Like everybody wants to be like the overseer and all this, but like for me, like it will give me goosebumps just to be the guy who's just there holding the bags. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I always like their
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. Paul and Timothy. Oh, I would have said that too, man.
I thought
Yeah, Paul and
you
Timothy.
was gonna say it, bro. I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
I
he
mean,
finna say my
I
joint.
used Jesus, I used Jesus, Peter, and them. You know what I'm saying? You can't top that,
Yeah.
Jesus. So but Paul and Timothy, that'd be crazy. Like imagine somebody had twins and then named one Paul and Timothy. That'd be crazy duo.
They were in you. I feel like when you name your children Bible characters, they cannot
They can't do
escape
anything
like the
wrong.
plan of God.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they come out
no,
and be
they
the
be
devil.
trying. Cause I saw somebody on TikTok. They said they just got robbed by Jesus. They just got
Yo.
robbed. They just got
Oh yeah,
robbed
I just
by.
got robbed
Yeah, they just
by
got
a dude
robbed
named
by
Jeremiah.
Matthew. Yeah.
By the
They be
weeping
like,
prophet,
they
you
be,
know what?
they be like, they be like, I just got like bullied by Cornelius.
Just come on now, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I agree with what you say because some people think a name is just a name, but a name is really a purpose. And some people they just be like, oh, I like that name. I like the ring of it. But when you're going through names and you look at people and stuff like that, biblically, you would name somebody stuff according to their calling, like your parents. Um, you know how like let's say old like you read Old Testament and you hear all these names and it literally like symbolized what they did in life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree that names, you should walk in your purpose and stuff even through your name. But here's our last question for today, then we'll get out of here. It says, what can we learn from those biblical friendships that we can apply to our own? I would say I already explained it kind of as far as like who's a better example of how to be a friend than Jesus. And even with the other one with David and Jonathan. Like Jonathan literally put his own desires aside to help a friend. You know what I'm saying? He could have just sought himself out first to be king and then helped his dad, get David. And then he was like, yeah, I'm the next king. That's my rightful spot. But he was a good friend where he knew that this friendship, I'm not going to let anything get in between it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times nowadays, people aren't really friends. They're just people use like a lot of friendships have become one-sided where one person is giving, the other person is taking. And then when that other person needs them, they're not to be found. I'm not sure if y'all dealt with that type of stuff in some
Yes,
friendships where
yes.
you felt like, okay, let's say that you was going through a season and you're ministering to a friend that's battling depression. They're battling depression. You're there with them. They hitting you up at 2 a.m. You're right there. Don't do it. Don't do this, that. God got you. You don't have to go to this lifestyle. You don't have to fall into drugs. You don't have to fall into all this type of stuff, and then they don't do it, they come out, and then you're going through a season where like you went through something, and then you're like, man, I just need somebody to talk to, and they're like they don't even respond, they leave you on red, or they're like, oh, sorry, man, I'm busy, I'm doing all this type of stuff. Then they fall back into a season and they're like, man, I just need somebody right now, and you're there for them. That's the type of friendship that's not a friendship, that's just free therapy. That's free therapy. And that's what we can learn from even the friendships biblical. A friend is somebody that sticks close to you through thick and thin, and it's not like even what is this? It's not transactional, I guess, if I could say it like that,
They're
where
they're they're
you
there
do
for
one
in
thing.
times of adversity.
You
My
said
bad.
what? You said
They're
what?
there in times of adversity.
Yeah. Like it shouldn't ever be to the point where, let's say it's just even, where some people have friendships like that. You give him $25 for his birthday, I give you $25 for your birthday. That's just a trade. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just gonna be trading. But friendship is like you don't know what it is. You're not measuring it about if what's equal or who gives more, who gives less. You know a good friendship because you know God is in the center of it, and you'll know that when you need somebody, they're gonna be there for you. It's some friends I got now where I've not seen them for a long time. But if I was somewhere and I needed some help with something and they could supply me help, they would drop what they had and I believe they would try to help. Where those are good friendships. And even with me, I try to be a friend where if it's something that I want to do, but my friend has a better ability to do it, even though I know I can do it well, sometimes you should just let your friend do it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a drummer, you know what I'm saying? I'm a drummer, I play pretty well. But let's say that, like, I have a cousin, Stuart. Y'all know Stuart. He's better than I am at drums. So if it was a performance and the idea was for the song to go perfect or to go amazing. Why I know I could do okay on the song, but if the goal was to put your best forth, I would not put myself on the drums. I put Stuart on the drums because he's better. And that's what we need to apply with our friendships. Even though you can do some things well, it doesn't mean that you should. If you know that your friend does it better, you know that this person does it better, you got to get past yourself. And that's what we can learn from David and Jonathan and stuff. You got to get past what you might personally desire, what you might be rightfully yours. Like, let's say, go back to the example I was using. Let's say Stuart never knew about it, but he was in the room. Um, a good friend would say, "Hey, I know I would love this opportunity, but the idea is to make sure the song goes best. So that's why I know that you have this ability. So can you go ahead and do that?" That's a good family. That's a good friendship move, and we should apply that in our lives. So that's one thing that I would say. I know this is a long answer, but that's some examples I would give as to how your friendship should look and how you can apply these biblical principles to your friendships.
Um, okay. Yeah. No, that was really good. I was waiting, but uh no, I think that what you said is like spot on because it's not a given like it's not a, you shouldn't think of it as give and take, you know?
Hmm.
Um yeah, it shouldn't be a give and take situation. And I think in friendships like for example, if you are in a financial situation to where you can afford to I don't know, you can afford to go to Fogo de Chao for dinner,
Hmm.
but your friend is in a financial situation to where they can afford to go to Chipotle. You really want to go to Fogo de Chao because you know that the food is better, but you also you know that you want to hang out with your friends, so you know that the position that they're in, and you don't want them to feel uncomfortable or whatever the case. You're like, hey, let's go to Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go there. Like so, even though that's a desire that you have to spend the money or to do whatever, have that experience. You're willing to like sacrifice what you want just so you can spend time with that friend or whatever the case. And I thought that was gonna go a certain way, like as far as spending money on or like a different way, like give and take. But I think it's more so about just being considerate of that person um, when you're and loyal to the person as well. That's a big word nowadays. I
Hmm.
think that the greatest example of loyalty would be Jesus to us, especially in our walk. Uh, it's different for like I don't know. Like I think Christians sometimes we get used to, or sometimes we forget, like how good God is to us, and just how loyal of a friend He is to us. Because you start to serve or whatever the case, or you He allows you to start ministering or whatever the case. But we really got to hone into the fact that God is the most loyal friend and he'll always be there. And we have to think about the fact that, like, he's God. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't even have to be our friend, but he wants to. And he sets the most perfect example of what it means to be a friend to somebody. So, uh, I'm not saying stay in a situation in a friendship where you're always being put down and stuff like that. But if you know that your friend is going through something, or um, you know that you know that it's just a time to where you might have to pour in more, then do that. You know what I'm saying? And think about it like this: like, has that person poured into you before? You know, and are they consistent? Do they show up? Are they kind? Are they forgiving? You know what I'm saying? And we could just look to God in that, and how to be a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree
Yeah.
with that.
In short, though, I'll just say like somebody basically, um, y'all be on the same accord or one accord as far as like spiritually. You know what I mean? I mean, y'all summed it up as far as like in the natural and everything as well, but I think that would be like the main concern as far as what I would take from these relationships, specifically like Timothy and Paul. It's like they was on one accord on what the bigger picture was, like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And even when Paul was in prison, he kind of passed that torch along and wrote those letters and let Timothy know, like, all right, like you about to oversee this stuff now because the stuff still goes on. I'm gonna write you these letters and I'm gonna kind of coach you through it and encourage you, but you know what I mean? I can't physically be there right now, so it's like, and I think that's a good way to be. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody working together on one accord just for the bigger picture.
Yeah,
That's good.
definitely.
I want. Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I got into this discussion with a couple of people recently, but kinda. But as far as men, like, how do men develop or build friendships? And like, cause y'all, like, I feel like with women, we naturally, or most women naturally, are more like communicate more. A little bit easier to be vulnerable, and things of that nature. So how do, like, young men, because y'all are young, how do y'all, even older men, how do you foster or develop or start or keep like a godly male friendship? Because I don't see that. I see male community, but I don't always see like male friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like in the
Hmm.
Christian, yeah,
Well, I would say this, like, men and women are different. Um, what's an example I can use? So basically, I feel like what you said with women, women a lot of times might need more so community, or somebody just being there for them, texting them, just going through the process of emotionally being there for them. I think for guys, at least for me personally, I can speak for this guy, but it's more so about reliability, um, basically honesty. Like, I can trust you. I don't need a friend. Like, I don't have to have a friend that's gonna always, we always gotta hang out. We always gotta have a boys' night out. At this point in my life, maybe when I was a teenager or younger, or when I was in college, like the beginning of college or school, I wanted to hang out a lot. But now I like to hang out, but that's not something that is a requirement for a good friendship. Like, it's some friends that I know if we wanted to hang out, we can hang out tomorrow. But we are to a point in time where we know if we're there for each other as brothers, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to always have that reassurance of, oh, it's because I've heard some women even be like, yeah, she hasn't texted me in a long time. I'm cutting her off. I'm doing this, that, and the other. Because you need that friendship. It's a different type of friendship that women might desire. But for men, I could not talk to somebody for 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, boom, yo, what's up, man? Boom, we're back. And then we just stop
yeah,
texting. And then, but I know he's here for me. I know that he wants the best for me. But we don't have to text and do stuff every day. It's just, I know. It's like a connection. And you know that that's how it works. It's hard to explain, but really simple. We just look for somebody that's just a good dude that's not trying to basically take what you got. A lot of guys out here just trying to take what you got or trying to be opportunists. So it's I'm gonna use another example, like let's say like a lion or whatever. How many lions do you see in a pride? Like how many male lions? You see a whole bunch of women lions, but you see maybe two or three male lions. Not saying that's because men don't can't get along with other men, but sometimes I feel like you kind of like men we like operating on like independently more and kind of doing our own thing. That maybe just like for a lot of guys that I've interacted with and stuff like that, even my friends, where we don't have to rely on other people as much to be there with us through all of our moments where we're unsure about something, where we'll kind of navigate that. But we need a friend when it's like, okay, man, I need you to help me out with something like putting something together, or I need your advice on something. It's more so like just helping in those instances, not really just the nitpicky stuff like, oh, I need to just get away from the family, I need to get away from the kids and hang out. Like I don't men we don't really need that, I don't think. I think it's just a matter of just being there when you need them. And that's like a brothership. It's more so like, with a brother, like you have brothers and stuff like that. And if you had, let's say, a flat tire or something, you're not gonna call your sister. Maybe if she's a mechanic, but you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna call my brother. And that's the type of thing that we look for as far as friends. You're like, okay, man, I got this project I'm doing. I've not talked to him in like a couple months, but I know that he might help me out because this is like a brother to me. He's like, if I need somebody to do some handiwork, I need somebody to actually go handle business. That's my brother. We good like that. I don't need you every 5 seconds. I don't need you every second of the day. But I know if you are a true brother, you're gonna help me when I really need you. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, and I mean, I could relate on the whole lion thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I'm just, I don't know, like, what man. I mean, I know there are people out there, but what man truly has time to hang out, bro? Like, if you got
Yeah.
time to just hang out for real, I kind of, not everybody, man, but I almost kind of feel like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
why do you have time to just hang out? I mean, if you
Hmm.
single and stuff, maybe, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. But still,
as
like that's
a
when you should be locking in.
But as a married man, any free time I'm hanging out with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. That's just me personally. But as far as like friends, as far as male friends, I don't have none, man. I don't have none, like at all. I have people in church. You know what I'm saying? But as
Hmm.
far as like just hanging out, I have
Yeah.
zero, man. Zero.
Well,
If I go
it's
through an issue, honestly, I don't even like have nobody that I could say. I mean, I probably could call them, but I probably wouldn't though. I mean, it could be a
hmm
bad characteristic of mine, but I'm
yeah,
definitely 100% not relying on anybody. If it's
yeah,
really bad, I'll call my dad or something. You know what I mean?
hmm but like you see what I'm saying? Like it's a certain point in life as a man where it's like you just don't need to be hanging out all the time. Like women, I know women they kind of need like a break, and y'all just like hanging out. Like even from like I have a big sister and everything. I know how it is. Sometimes I'll be like, I just need to get away from the men. I just need to get away from all this. I just want to go have fun. Okay, that works for y'all, but me. I don't know. I can't just be hanging around with a whole bunch of dudes at this point in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For real, man.
especially in Atlanta. Like, I'm just saying, okay, I'm not gonna get into that too much, but I'm not just gonna be hanging out with a whole bunch of dudes out there. You know what I'm saying? But
And I guess
anyway,
too, yeah.
yeah, no, you continue, man.
Now,
You continue.
now I was saying, I guess too, I did a lot of hanging out as like a teenager. I think I got all of that out of my system,
Yeah.
early 20s, and then I mean, once you get married, it kind of clicks, man.
Hmm.
Like, what are
Like,
we doing? Because
yeah.
what I used to hang out for, I can't do it anymore
Hmm.
anyway. So why are we hanging out? Like, that was the only reason we hung out then, to be
Like
honest. You know what I
the only
mean?
time I would say I'd hang out with another group of guys, it's like we was going to a sporting event, like it was some type of men's fishing trip. Man, it got to be an event, like something that's cannot involve women. Like even we women nowadays, like women nowadays enjoy sports. Like Amani, she's an Eagles fan and everything like that. So it's not really an instance where I'm like, oh, this is just for the men. You know what I'm saying? where like, but I have people in my life where like if I needed somebody like to help out with something, I have those people. But I don't have a desire. I don't think I need that validation from another dude. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Yeah.
I see where y'all coming from. I think men are just wired differently, but then at the same time, like I think I think it's important to have community like a brotherhood. I don't like
Yeah.
even not I don't know. I mean, I think when y'all experience y'all brotherhood through church and like you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like but it's I think it's
For like the people that
also
don't have
good to
that, yeah.
you said what?
I say because it's many times like if you don't go to church, a lot of guys don't have no type of brotherhood
Like
outside their
none. That's
dad or
what I'm
their
saying.
brother.
Like y'all
And the thing
y'all
too,
just don't be y'all don't talk to other men. And
I
I've
don't
seen
trust people at all. Like that's another
Mm-mm.
thing for me personally.
yeah, you can't it's hard to.
Like you invite somebody in, and then it's like, nah, I can't get rid of this dude, and he wilding, and I never
Yeah.
knew he was wild until we got to know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then
Like that type of thing.
yeah, and people's spirits start to affect your peace. You start inviting all these
Mhm.
people into your house. Somebody
Oh
told me, they
yeah.
say, watch who you let in your house. Don't just let anybody, don't, they say if they nice,
Mhm.
that still don't mean they should be in your house. They got all this stuff and the witchcraft, all this spiritual attachments, these lust spirits, all this type of stuff, and all of a sudden you be
I think
wondering.
no, everything y'all saying is good. You should definitely protect your space. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I just think there's a need for men to have I don't think it's a bad thing for men to hang out.
Yeah.
Like Christian, strong Christian, godly men community. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Accountability, where you actually talk to each other and actually every
Yeah.
once in a while hang out, and not
Hmm.
necessarily like tell all your business or just for men to have a mental break or for men to like enjoy themselves and to realize it's okay to be vulnerable, not with every person, but just like a hub of real Christian men
Hmm.
that's willing to like encourage each other and not be weird or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like,
Yeah. I
but
don't think it's
It's
bad.
not
I don't
bad.
think
It's
it's
just
bad, but
hard to
I'm not
find.
being vulnerable for no other man. Like,
It's hard. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. It could be just me, but I think it's hard to find. Like, it's not like the 80s and 90s no more, where you can just invite somebody in for dinner, and just that's it. Like that's pure. Like my dad have a lot of friends. Like they can invite each other over and have barbecues and stuff. But and it's all pure. Like it's nobody like. But I don't know, man. I see these dudes. I don't know. Just pray for me, man,
they
cause I
weird.
would
Like
like,
a lot of these. Yeah, it's not even that we don't want them. It's just weird guys out here nowadays. They
yeah,
after what you got.
I think y'all should talk. I'm gonna pray. I pray y'all connect with a male friend that y'all can trust and have
Hey, I got male
a
friends. I
communicate
just,
with.
I got male friends. It's just, it's just not like it's just not like the need. Like I have to just be hanging out with them all the time, or like we'll hang out sometimes, like maybe once every other month, twice every other month, or whatever. Just
This
whatever.
man, once a year, I hang out once.
Yeah. So.
I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. But this is coming from a person
but listen
that
though,
is
can you hear me?
friendly. You know what I'm saying? And that sees the
Hmm.
benefits and stuff. So that's why.
But how many times I've exchanged numbers with dudes and we never hit each other up like after that? Like we just literally just never see each other again. Why? I don't know why that happens for real.
It
I
be
guess
like
it's a
that,
man
man.
thing. I don't
It's
know.
like
Y'all gotta be
nobody,
more
like, who's gonna,
intentional.
like, in what instance are you gonna hit them up? What are you gonna say? Hey, like, what are you gonna say? Like, I'm
Yes,
saying, I'm not
yes, you
saying
guys
hey to no
say
dude. You know what I'm
hi.
saying?
How are
It's like,
you?
hey, bro, I was just checking on you, to see how your day was
Nah,
going.
It doesn't have to be weird. You can
nah,
just be
man.
like, yo, hey, or yo, bro, or I don't know how y'all talk. I ain't here for
Hey,
you,
bro,
Yo,
I
but
just wanted to
God
check on
bless you,
you.
bro. I hope everything good. Yada
You
yada.
like, nah,
oh my,
like good morning, bro.
nah. Good morning.
No,
Yeah, man. I just had this
y'all are
thought, and it sounded like a whole paragraph. Because I seen how my sister texts and stuff like that. and her friend and all the type of stuff. They'd be like, I was just thinking about you this morning. I thought I should pray about you for this. Send a whole paragraph. Oh my God. Oh my
Is that
goodness.
bad? Is that
It's
a
not
bad
bad. It's just I don't know. It just seems a little sweet to me.
thing? That's not sweet, man. That's not sweet. That's a good thing. You want people to
Do
pray
your
for you.
brothers have friends?
My
Is that what?
brothers,
Yeah.
they're friends with each other. That they're friends. So that like that's the thing about them. Like
What about your dad? Does he have friends, like honestly, that he hangs with?
he's friends with his sons.
Exactly.
He has one or two friends. You know, like
That's what I'm
just a
saying.
couple. You know.
That's what me and Darren was
And I
talking about.
bet you they've
Like,
been friends for 30 years. I bet you.
Well, not I don't know how, but I think because they were able to bond off of the gym situation. You know
Oh
what I
mhm,
yeah,
mean?
yeah. You gotta be in a perfect situation. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But
Jim,
I don't
like,
know. I'm only
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that because I've seen like in different Christian spaces in Atlanta, I've seen like godly men come together or whatever the case, and
yeah.
they be having Bible studies and stuff
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Like,
like
now I agree with stuff
challenging
like
each
that.
other.
Yeah, I agree with stuff like that. Like, I have friends like that, where we'll go. Let's say something simple as like, let's go thrifting together, or let's just do something like that. I can do that, but you get to a certain. I think what me and Darren was talking about. You get to a certain point in your life where you don't really desire that because you're really locked in on what you're doing. But I get what you're
It's
saying too as
breaking
well,
up.
Amani. Oh, I get what you're saying too, Amani, as far as you needing that interaction and that brotherhood, because a lot of times you can't have a Paul and Timothy if you don't talk to nobody. You can't have that camaraderie if you never talk to somebody else, because ultimately you have a family, they have a family. If you could witness to their family, then you've done your job. Then they witness to somebody else, and so on
Right.
and so forth. So I get what you're saying, Monty. It's very important that you do, like, I think as men, a lot of times we do cut off stuff, and like, Jesus couldn't have done anything if he would have just done, well, of course he would have done it, but like a lot of the people in the Bible could not have done anything if they would have done it all by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
He sent us out in two to threes.
yeah, so
He
that
sent
was
us out
Jesus's
by
design.
twos.
Like, of course, I'm not saying that Jesus couldn't have done it, don't get me twisted. I'm saying
Yeah, yeah, no.
that Jesus's design was to have friendship and to come together and do things not alone. In the Bible it says it's not good for man to be alone.
Hmm.
So, I agree with what you said there, Monty, and we should have more Bible studies and more brotherhood meetings and stuff as brothers, because a lot of times you run to the women and everything like that, and then they shouldn't have to always take on your burdens and everything as men. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
like,
and then I think it's healthy too, because like when a man has a lot of women friends and stuff like that, like the
yeah,
woman might start liking the guy, or
yeah. But he might
guy
start
might
playing
start
games or
liking. You know what
whatever.
I'm saying? But
Hmm.
with the brothers that are handling their business and they're Christian, you don't have to worry about none of that. You can just be, I guess, like a guy, you know?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with what everybody said today, and this is a great show. I mean, we can even have another episode about that type of stuff, like the complex as to why men are triggered from having friends, and how come women get triggered in many friendships from having too many friends. So yeah, we
Hey,
can
can we think
discuss that.
about this? I'm
But
sorry, I know we gotta go. Can we think about like y'all doing a panel and then I ask the questions and just listen?
yeah, we could do that.
Or
I
I
think
don't
that'd
have
be
to be
cool.
there at all, but is whichever one, but like a panel with like men and y'all have that. I think that would be a cool episode.
Yeah, let's get that lined up. So y'all heard it here. We'll get that thing lined up either this season or next season. And y'all just stay tuned for any updates and everything like that. We're glad that y'all tuned in. Make sure you follow us at Impact Podcast Show on Instagram, Impact Podcast Show. You can follow me at Christian Kennedy. You can follow her at underscore Mani, him at Naraya.tv. Thank you. You can rewind this if you want to get those ads. If you have a prayer request into Impact Podcast Show on Instagram, we'll try to pray for you. If you have any ideas for the future that you would like for us to see, any questions or anything like that, send that to Impact Podcast Show. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. You subscribe to the Facebook page. I mean, follow the Facebook page at Rockstone Church. Make sure if you don't have a church, you come to 781 Main Street, Stone Mountain, Georgia. On Sunday mornings, church starts at 10:30 a.m. We'd love to see you in the building. That's how you can the ultimate goal of this podcast is to ultimately have someone come back and say, "What must I do to be saved?" Because at the end of the day, we can do all this stuff and have all the fun in the world, but what does it profit a man to gain the whole world just to lose his soul? So we want to make sure that we're impacting the future by pointing to the cross. And that's the best way to impact the future because the cross is the only future. This flesh will pass away, but the word of God and the cross will stand forever. So we love y'all. Make sure y'all continue tuning in and y'all have a good one. Let's get out of here.